So we'll look a little bit at submission grappling this time. And then rather than getting you warmed up, then sit down and discuss it, and then get all cold, then have to start again. We'll go through the rule sets, we'll have a warm up, and then we'll get into the technique work. Okay. So the last time that I was up, we concentrated on doing takedown work, but we're going to go a bit more at the floor stuff today, and attacking from top positions. So the thing with grappling is there is a lot of different rule sets, depending on a lot of different things. So obviously you've got the gi stuff, so if you've got like the jacket and the trousers on, which isn't something really that I've never, because I've come from an MMA background, all the grappling that I've done has been no gi stuff, because it's, I don't feel as beneficial doing the gi stuff. A lot of guys do think that it's good for MMA, but I prefer to work with grips that I can use. So things like the wrestler's grips, like the underhooks and the overhooks, as opposed to grabbing a hold of a jacket, because you can't do that in MMA. So it's never really been something, apart from when I was doing judo, it's never really been something that I've looked at for submission grappling. So the rule sets are slightly different for that purpose, because you are allowed to grab your jacket or something in that, which you can't do in MMA. Sorry, in the no-gi. So the rule sets that will vary greatly from tournament to tournament. There's basically, it falls into two different areas. There's point-based, and then there's submission only. Again, personally, I prefer submission only. With points-based, it's like any kind of sport where it's a point-based system. If you get a couple of points clear, then you can stall and hold off and not have to work to try and win. As long as you're not letting them get a point, you can win. With the submission grappling, it's a case of the person, with the submission only, it's the person who works hard to get the submission wins the fight. So I'm more drawn to that, because I like the idea of beating somebody because you make them tap rather than you manage to stay on top of them for 5 minutes but do nothing. So when we do the WFMC tournaments, that's what we've gone with. It's the no-gi submission grappling, submission only rules. But I'll recap them both, because we're quite unique with the WFMC rules, because there's so many different groups, and trying to get a good system of scoring in place. Things like the Eddie Bravo Invitation, what they'll do is after the time limit, if there's not a winner by submission, they'll put you in a specific position, and then it's about who can escape or submit from that position the quickest, so you'll both get a turn at it, just to make sure that there is a winner that is based on a submission. With the WFMC, what we've done, because we are a tournament-based competition where potentially there could be, in any division, potentially 10, 15, 20 people, there's a lot of fights to get through, and then you've got all the different weight classes within that. So in order to eliminate the potential fight going on for a half an hour, what I've done is we've gone it's a 5-minute round, and if at the end of that round there's no winner, then we go to a point system that you would use in the traditional point scoring jiu-jitsu, and it's the first person to get a point win, so it's like a sudden death. So it's a little bit different. So when you're talking about the points in submission wrestling, the usual things that you'll get points for are things like taking a top control position. So if you get mount or side control, you'll get points for that. If you take their back and get both hooks in, and if you're not sure what that means like when you've got a hold of the back, you get both of your feet over their waist, that'll get you a point. But if you've only got one or none and you've just got back control, they won't give you a point for that. You need to get that position established. If you are in a negative position, so you're on your back, in your guard, which again, if you're not sure, is when they're on top, but I have my legs around them. If I can switch that position so that I'm now on top, they'll give you points for that. So any of those things that you would normally get a point for in traditional point scoring jiu-jitsu competition, you can get a sudden death point for that in the WFMC if it goes past the 5 minutes. I'm really like the rules that we come up with the WFMC, because we don't restart either. So if you've worked 5 minutes to get that top control position, I'm not going to restart you and make you start again. You'll carry on from that position. You just don't get the point from that position that you're in. So if you are in, for example, side control, you would get a point for that because you're already there. You have to change your position, say, to mount to get your point, or go for the submission. You can still win by submission at some death time as well. But I just like it because it means it's a much more aggressive way of fighting. So you're always looking, because if you want to win, you have to get the point, but you have to get a good position. You can't afford to just lay on your back and hope that they make a mistake. You've got to be hunting for it. So I think it makes it a much more exciting style of competition than you would perhaps get in some of the more point-based systems. Okay, any questions about what constitutes a point and what doesn't? Anything you need to know for it, Wayne?
What you just said then, please, can you broaden on? You mentioned what constitutes a point and what doesn't.
Takedowns will score a point as well. If you, in terms of points for takedowns, you don't get a point just for putting him on the floor. You need to control the positions that you land in as well. And usually that's for a count of 3. The referees count to 3, so they'll do a 1, 2, 3. That goes as well in terms of positional control. So if I move to a mount position, I don't get a point just by there hitting mount, and that's a point. I've got to control that position again, 1, 2, 3, and then that will give you the point. And like I say, so a takedown with a control position, and then any of the major control positions, so top mount, side control, any of those will get you a point. Back control with the hooks in gets you points. Reversing a negative position, so if you're either mounted or in your guard and you get to top position, that will give you a point as well. If you are in their guard and you pass through their guard, and you clear both legs past their guard and past the hip, that will give you a point as well. Yeah, make sense? Yeah. Anything else? No? Okay, so we're gonna, like I say, we'll get warmed up and then we'll start looking at top control position. So